Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have KHROMA, and they have a new album called Ex Nihilo, or Ex Nihilo, as I would probably improperly say in my English accent, when released on 10th of September via Inverse Records. Right now I'm being joined by Mikko to share some more information about this stellar release, as well as what the boys have got going on. So Mikko, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely great to have you on. Now, take us through this album. Does this album have a theme? Is it a concept? What do you want to tell us about this album? And I'm just starting off as that big, broad question.
Well, according to our main vocalist, who also is the main lyricist of the band and sort of the creator of our concepts, if there are such lyrical concepts in our music, is that he told me when we were having a drink the other day that actually I think the whole album is about the end of the world, which is, I mean, metal music in many ways is I think that's one of the sort of the recurring themes. But Rico, our vocalist, he approaches this concept in every song on the album through different sort of kind of points of view, and as said in the promotional letter, it can be about a sound wave and all piercing sound wave, or a tidal wave, or a computer virus, or whatever. But I think it's an album about the ends and new beginnings when something gets created out of nothing, which means actually ex nihilo is Latin and means out of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just looking it up on the internet as to remind myself of what it means, and from what I immediately gathered, it has some religious tones to it, that, you know, God created something out of nothing, or just in general, that there has to be nothing in order for something to go into it. The earth is sitting in space. There's so many areas where we see it, you know, out of religion. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, KHROMA is not a religious band, so we approach this concept as a sort of a out of destruction, a new sort of order of the world is being created, sort of out of nothing. Maybe it's a digital world which can be created sort of out of nothing, from zeros and ones, or maybe it's a new life form finding its way to the surface from destruction. So that's sort of our concept about it. Plus, I think it fits nicely to the musical atmosphere of KHROMA. Maybe atmosphere is the right word, which is we constantly try to combine the synthetic with the analogs, trying to combine the state-of-the-art sort of electronic sounds and electronic instruments with traditional rock music instruments, and try to examine the sort of the threshold between analog and synthetic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm listening to Tread Light right now. So everybody listening in, if you want to check out some videos of the band as well as their website, I've got a Facebook link. Is that the best place to reach you guys, Mikko, is Facebook?
Yeah. Our web activity is mostly in Facebook and of course in Instagram. But yeah, the best way to approach the band is definitely in Facebook at the moment. Then we also have all our videos are either on Inverse Records YouTube channel or on our own YouTube channel. So there, of course, you can also find KHROMA.
Okay, beautiful. So down in the show notes below, we've got a Facebook link as well. The same tag is used on Instagram as well. So if you want to check out the boys on Instagram or Facebook, just use the tag KHROMA Band, KHROMA Band, KHROMA Band. And then there's also as well 3 videos that we're going to chat about here shortly: Tread Light, Slaves, and Kill the Friction. And right now I'm watching Tread Light. Interestingly enough, as you were describing this, you know, it could be a digital world and mixing in the digital and the analog, and I'm watching this video, Tread Light. I mean, even that, speaking of being old, in the pre-roll, we chatted about being old, reminds me of, and there seems to be a bit of a resurgence, Mikko, of the way we viewed the future in like 1998.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it definitely has this 90s vibe musically going on. A lot of the drum and bass stuff that was being done at that time of the in the universe. Also, I'd like to think there are nice state-of-the-art digital, like electronic effects or electronic beats going on in there. But yeah, I can definitely agree that it takes you sort of back in time to the 90s. Mm-hmm. We are 90s kids, so that comes also natural for us.
Yeah, cool. And then in the music video, because it's called Tread Light, there's all this stuff going on. It must have been hard to play around that. Like, did you have to like move around whenever stuff was? No. Okay.
It's actually very, very digital. We played in front of a LED screen, which may or may not show in the end result.
No, it's cool. And then you guys are obviously something that is a little more modern. Is you guys are tuned to like, what is that, Z, like Y or Z? You guys are tuned down pretty low. It sounds like.
Tread Light is in the key F. So yeah, pretty low, almost one whole octave below the normal guitar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like to. Actually, I'm the guitar player in the band. In my taste, it's almost too low because it's really, really hard to produce the guitar sound or the sort of the tone of the guitar and the sort of the sustain of the guitar when it's tuned that low. But yeah, that is what it is. What it is. Mm-hmm. Maybe the next album is going to be in G. Or maybe in the key A, a bit more higher up.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting one, right? Because the lower down you go, the less bass you have in your signal to make it sound like a guitar. So you could actually...
Yeah.
I mean, everybody out there, how do you feel about those really low-tuned guitars that actually have less low-end information in them than, say, a standard tuned or even a half step down guitar that's got more bass in it? I think it sounds a little bit beefier, maybe a little bit heavier. Me personally, like when I think of Korn is pretty heavy and they were down to A.
Yeah, they were in A, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. All right, down to F. So you guys are using what, 8 strings?
Yeah. It actually depends on the song, and we also use different tunings than only the F. But this Tread Light is in F with an 8-string guitar and 5-string bass, which is also tuned it's tuned in the real F, so it's 1 octave below the guitar, which is something that is also very hard to produce. But I think we made a decent job with the album. We've since the beginning of the band, about 11 years ago, we've tried to produce everything ourselves in our own studios and rehearsal spaces and places we have gone to record. So it's been sort of a learning curve or learning process for us so that we have had to find out ourselves how is this being done, and we still use tube amplifiers instead of like plug-in guitar effects, or mostly tube amplifiers and real bass amplifiers. So the production is we've learned it from the beginning. It didn't sound, in my opinion, it didn't sound as thick and sort of hi-fi in the beginning as it does now, but I think there's room for development, maybe room for something more even on the next albums. But yeah, let's see. I mean, we have learned this style ourselves, even though now it's very common to tune guitars low and do sort of similar style production.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember the first time I heard people were tuning down a full octave, so it was E standard, but down an octave. Yeah. I thought, well, that's what a bass is already at. Like, why are you going through all that trouble? Just pick up a bass and just play the bass.
Yeah, we also tuned the bass to almost 1 octave down to F.
I know, so you can't even hear it, though. You just feel it, right?
Yeah. At the moment, I think we've found a great bass sound, so you can also hear it. But it's definitely more like a sub bass vibe when it's when it's tuned down that low. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Now you mentioned using real guitar amps, which is entirely unheard of in today's day and age. So take us through your guitar amp catalog. What are we hearing on this record?
There's an Engel E650, which is the Richie Blackmore signature model with 6 tubes, which is just your standard Engel hard rock amplifier, which works really cool. And then there's a Hughes and Kettner Triamp, also with EL. Oh no, I think that Triamp is also with 6 L6 tubes, or what are they called? And then I think we reamped it also with the classic PV Blockletter 5150,
which would probably also be 6 L6s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I think there is also. Yeah, I basically only recorded either 2 tracks as a stereo, or then 4, so 2 times 2. But there are really little the original DI tracks, and almost everything is reamped with these amplifiers which we chose. We also, I think we made some experiments. There might be some Marshall in there. There is also some Axe FX2. But only some. I think most of it is being done with real tube amplifiers.
Okay, cool. All right, I get it. I see what you're doing there. You're trying to kill the friction with the slaves while you tread light. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it, baby.
By the way, we also have, in addition to these 3 videos, we also have one more newer video, which is called Tidal, which was released in I think in August, and I'm pretty sure it didn't make it to the Inverse Records promotional letter because we finished the video after they sent the promotional letter. So that is definitely also worth checking out. That's the 4th and final single of the album.
Okay, I'm going to watch it right now. And everybody also listening in or watching right now, go ahead and click the link down below for Tidal so you can follow along and you can hear what is happening. And I dig all of the little like synth stuff you guys are doing, because digital seems to be a really big word that we're using right now. Again, taking me back to like 1998. I mean, you've got all this talk about new digital, right? That's the future, digital. I'm using my fingers as jazz hands, right? Because like digital, zeros and ones. Root word is jit. Die means 2. 2 jits, baby. So take us through. This track also sounds very, very tuned down. You got some really cool stuff going on. I like your music videos. Who's doing your music videos for you?
We are doing them ourselves. Tidal and Treadlight music videos were both directed by the drummer in the band, my good friend Antti. This Tidal was being shot in a sort of I think it's actually a studio where they also shot some movies. We managed to get in there for 3 days. Treadlight was being shot in front of a LED screen on a small club. So basically we have had like good, in that sense, we have had better and worse production values in the videos. But we also always, when we start doing a video, we start with some kind of a concept, which we then try to think, how can we make this happen without any money? Because the videos are being shot with not that much money. We've invested our own money, but it's got to be counted in hundreds of euros instead of thousands of euros. What we paid for these. So we work with shoestring budgets, and then we try to use our creativity to make them look more expensive than they are. But yeah, Antti, our drummer, directs them. I usually help him. I'm the assistant director in both of these. Slaves music video I think it's being entirely comprised of live material, which was being shot during our tours before the pandemic hit and all tours were sort of cut down. And the Kill the Friction video was also being directed by Antti. So we do everything ourselves. Then another good friend of ours, a guy named Janne from Helsinki, he's been working as the director of photography or videography on the 2 newest ones. I think the the Kill the Friction, we shot ourselves, taking turns. Like whoever was not in front of the camera was behind it, and so forth. Yeah, so it's a sort of a collaborative work, which is being done with the videos, definitely.
Yeah. I guess my big question then, especially for everybody listening in, is saying, okay, you filmed your own music video. We all can do that. But what is the difference between it looking expensive and looking not expensive? How do you do that?
I mean, with the Tidal video, we had the room the studio in which we shot was like 6 or 7 meters high. So we were able to build this very rudimentary sort of set inside the studio, which then shows in the end product. And with the Treadlight video, we had a very good high quality screen, which we could use to our advantage, and then project some cool visuals done also by our drummer onto the screen, and then just edit and some After Effects work, I think. I mean, I'm not an editor, so I don't even know what or how much labor and how much labor goes into the After Effects and the editing work, and what all is being done during that sort of post-production phase. But I think those are the ingredients.
Okay.
You have if you have a nice idea, which is somehow executable, so that you can pull it through without money, or with the least amount of money, and then you have you have good editing software and good skills in After Effects software. Then I think that's the recipe.
Okay, beautiful. All right, something else you mentioned was a magic word. It's a dangerous word these days, Mikko. You mentioned a 4-letter word. Tour.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it is dangerous.
So it's a dangerous word. Dare I ask, what's the plan from here?
Yeah, definitely we will do our best, and we will do everything in our power to be able to tour in 2022. Some shows we have already booked. Most of them are in Finland at the moment, but as we've toured a lot in the European Union and in the UK, that is definitely something we should and we want to do. There might be 1 or 2 shows which are in talks or sort of semi-confirmed, but nothing yet worth mentioning. But yeah, we do have a record release show 2 months late, because the record was released in September, but at that time it was still impossible to play any shows in Finland. Mm-hmm. So we are playing one show next week, actually, in Helsinki, our hometown. And additionally, we also try to already book some shows for next year, and also keep our eyes and ears open if we could find a support tour, a warm-up tour with a bigger artist, which we could then do next year. So definitely the touring enthusiasm is there, but nothing yet worth mentioning.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so everybody listening in, let's go ahead and recap. We have the band's website down below. Best to reach them on Facebook or Instagram. Tag is KHROMA Band. Also, as well, we have 4 videos that you can watch. The boys did them themselves. The guy playing the drums is actually filming at the same time. He's weird.
No, he's directing. Then
yes, I know. I'm being silly. Damn it, Mikko, let me be silly. Yeah, it's okay. And so we've got 4 videos: Treadlight, Slaves, Kill the Friction, and Tidal. You can check out the album Ex Nihilo. Was released on September 10th via Inverse Records. Available everywhere you consume music. Mikko, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you very much for having me, and I hope the music returns to normal and we can enjoy live music as soon as possible.